The story begins with Kim Ji-hoon, an undergraduate, feeling frustrated in his room due to the noise from his neighbors. He lives in a goshewon, a small, affordable housing option in Korea. Kim regrets his decision to live there, especially since he is an alumnus of a graduate school. He explains that he found a position as a part-time lecturer at a university, but couldn't afford the rent in the university district with his salary. So, he decided to live in a goshewon, thinking it wouldn't matter since he was only going to sleep there. However, the noise was unbearable. Unable to take it anymore, Kim decides to find another place to live. He visits several places, but the rents are too high. The first place asks for 150,000 won, which shocks him. He realizes that with the maintenance fee, he won't be able to afford it. The second place is 120,000 won, still too expensive. The third place is 90,000 won, but he still can't afford it. Frustrated, he considers whether he should just keep living in the goshewon. Suddenly, Kim receives a call from his friend, Seo In-woo, inviting him for a drink. Kim reflects on how Seo was already living well while he was still studying in graduate school. He feels like he should have quit studying and started working early. During their drink, Kim asks Seo if he's looking for a roommate, but Seo replies that only women, except for himself, can come into his house. Kim feels like punching him, thinking that Seo is bluffing. Suddenly, Seo In-woo told Kim Ji-hoon to turn around, and as he did, his eyes met some girls, and one of them winked at him. Seo In-woo then commented on Kim's reaction, noting that he got caught staring. Kim, however, didn't mind getting caught since he wasn't planning to talk to her. Seo decided to show off and approach the two girls while Kim watched, feeling embarrassed. To Kim's surprise, Seo managed to convince the two girls to join their table. One of the girls, Joo-hee, asked if she could sit next to Kim, and he nervously agreed. Seo then left with the other girl to buy ice cream, leaving Joo-hee and Kim at the table. They waited for Seo and the other girl to return, but they were taking a long time. Kim and Joo-hee considered leaving, but Kim mentioned that Seo was supposed to treat them. Later, the waitress approached Kim and Joo-hee, informing them that the restaurant was about to close. Kim asked for the bill and was stunned by the total price of 350,000 won, realizing he didn't have enough money. Joo-hee offered to pay, reassuring Kim that he could pay next time. Kim felt embarrassed but grateful. Joo-hee then invited Kim to her house, but he had some strange thoughts about the situation. Despite his fears, he agreed to go with her. The next day, Kim woke up at Joo-hee's place, relieved that nothing bad had happened. As he got up, he saw another girl standing at the door, who was surprised to see a man in their share house. The girl, Shine Bitna, was upset and reminded Joo-hee of the house rules. Joo-hee quickly explained that Kim was her cousin, and Kim played along, introducing himself to Bitna. Shine didn't believe Joo-hee's explanation, but Joo-hee insisted that she met Kim Ji-hoon while drinking the previous night. She explained that his car broke down, and since he was too drunk, she let him sleep at her place. Shine was concerned about having a man in a women's share house, especially with other women on the floor. She worried about the potential trouble a drunken man could cause. Despite feeling like he was being treated as a pervert, Kim Ji-hoon apologized and promised not to let it happen again. Joo-hee asked if he could stay for breakfast, and Shine reluctantly agreed. During breakfast, Kim Ji-hoon observed the dynamics of a women-only share house and considered finding a similar place for men. As they ate, Shine reminded Myung-ji, another occupant, to dress appropriately for meals, but Myung-ji hadn't expected a man to be present. She questioned Kim Ji-hoon, doubting that he was really Joo-hee's cousin since they didn't look alike. Joo-hee defended their story, and Myung-ji made a joke about cousins getting married in some countries. Shine, still unhappy, asked Kim Ji-hoon to leave after finishing his meal. Feeling unwelcome, he complied and left the share house. Reflecting on his experience, Kim Ji-hoon realized that despite his efforts to leave the goshewon, he couldn't overcome the financial barriers and had to accept his life there until he graduated. After graduation, Kim Ji-hoon became a lecturer at a university. Walking into his lecture room, he felt proud of his achievements and the journey he had taken. Kim Ji-hoon walks into the lecture room, ready to teach his students. He introduces himself and explains the importance of the class, emphasizing that hard work will earn them good grades. As he proceeds with the roll call, he stumbles upon a familiar name, Shine, the sharehouse manager. He is surprised to see her in his class and imagines her running to him after class to apologize for her past behavior. After the lecture, Kim Ji-hoon is surprised when Shine starts leaving without approaching him. He decides to interrupt her, but some onlookers misinterpret his actions, thinking he is harassing her. He clarifies who he is, but Shine already knows and acknowledges him as Joo-hee's cousin. Kim Ji-hoon awkwardly offers her good grades if she works hard, but Shine misunderstands his intentions. Just then, his friend Seo In-woo calls, inviting him for a drink to celebrate his debut as a lecturer. Kim Ji-hoon reflects on his first class, feeling it went well but also complicated. He heads out to meet Seo In-woo, ready to unwind after his eventful day. As Kim Ji-hoon walks towards Seo In-woo's car, he notices Joo-hee and another girl, who seems to be Seo In-woo's girlfriend, already inside. Joo-hee greets him, calling him cousin, which surprises Seo In-woo. He questions Kim Ji-hoon about how Joo-hee became his cousin. They all head to a bar to celebrate Kim Ji-hoon's debut as an instructor. Seo In-woo and his girlfriend leave the table to dance, leaving Joo-hee and Kim Ji-hoon alone. Joo-hee takes a selfie with Kim Ji-hoon, planning to post it on social media. She notices that Kim Ji-hoon isn't enjoying himself and asks why. He explains that he didn't sleep well the previous night due to noise from the neighboring room. Joo-hee jokes about helping him sleep better and suggests they live together, but quickly clarifies that she's kidding. She then invites him to live at the share house, and Kim Ji-hoon agrees. Kim Ji-hoon learns that the share house isn't exclusively for women, as he initially thought. The day he stayed over, the only man living there was away on a business trip. Joo-hee informs him that there's a vacancy in the men's room, and he decides to move in. However, the process involves an interview with the occupants and the caretaker, Shine. Upon arriving at the share house, Kim Ji-hoon is visibly nervous about the interview. He meets the 4 girls living there, Joo-hee, Shine, Myung-ji, and Sunbin. Shine, the manager, conducts the interview. The first question is about the monthly rent, which Joo-hee had written as 500,000 won per month, shocking Kim Ji-hoon. Joo-hee winks at him, and he confirms the amount. They asked if he smoked and whether he had a girlfriend. Although some questions felt intrusive, Kim understood their need to carefully select male roommates in a mixed-gender share house. Thanks to Joo-hee's rehearsal, he successfully answered all the questions, and the occupants seemed pleased with his responses. After everyone else approved Kim Ji-hoon, it was now up to the manager, Shine. She had one last question, asking if Joo-hee was really his cousin. Kim confirmed, and Shine finally agreed to let him move in. To celebrate their new tenant, the share house decided to throw a welcoming party. The party was lively, with everyone clapping and cheering. Despite feeling guilty for lying about being Joo-hee's cousin, Kim Ji-hoon was touched by the warm welcome. Myung-ji supplied drinks, and Kim Ji-hoon was happy with how things were going. He thought to himself that this place was like heaven on earth, enjoying the cheerful atmosphere and the company of his new housemates. As the celebration continued, Shine suddenly called out to Kim Ji-hoon, making him nervous. She reminded him to follow the rules if he didn't want to be kicked out. Kim Ji-hoon acknowledged her seriousness. Myung-ji then poured him a drink, and they all raised their glasses for a toast to welcome him aboard. During the merriment, Myung-ji asked Kim Ji-hoon if he had a girlfriend and if he was looking for one, hinting at her own availability. Shine, usually strict, reminded Myung-ji to follow the rules, which led to a playful exchange about jealousy. Shine denied feeling jealous, which startled Kim Ji-hoon. He recalled a previous misunderstanding with Shine, where she thought he was trying to take advantage of his position. Myung-ji then questioned Kim Ji-hoon about his intentions, and he clarified the misunderstanding. Shine announced that she would be heading to bed early, followed by Sunbin. Joo-hee and Myung-ji asked Kim Ji-hoon about his interactions with Shine, and he explained the situation. They continued drinking, with Myung-ji offering some advice to improve his situation with Shine. As the night wound down, Myung-ji and Joo-hee also went to their rooms, leaving Kim Ji-hoon to reflect on his new life at the share house. The next day, despite being exhausted from the previous night's drinking and moving out early in the morning, Kim Ji-hoon heads to his lecture. He sighs, feeling the weight of his busy schedule, which includes a lunch party for lecturers and evening classes. One of his colleagues reminds him about the lunch party, emphasizing its importance for winning the director's favor. Kim Ji-hoon grabs a meal at the cafeteria, deciding to fill up properly since he might not get another chance to rest. As he looks for a place to sit, he spots Shine eating alone and decides to approach her to clear up any misunderstandings. He nervously sits at her table and tries to explain himself, but Shine is cold and uninterested. In a moment of desperation, he grabs her hand and loudly declares that he is not interested in her romantically, stunning her. He continues to clarify that his previous comments about giving her good marks were not meant to imply anything inappropriate. He explains that he recognized her from their earlier encounters and was simply excited to see a familiar face. Shine, still skeptical, listens to his explanation and eventually tells him she'll see him at home before leaving. Kim Ji-hoon then heads to the lunch party for the management. He feels out of place and uncomfortable in the setting, but knows it's important to attend. Upon arrival, he awkwardly introduces himself to the man at the door and makes his way inside. He greets Director Shi, who notes his late arrival, but Kim Ji-hoon explains that he had a class just before coming. Director Shi decides to have some fun and tells Kim Ji-hoon to drink 3 shots with a lady. Kim Ji-hoon agrees, but his colleague tries to take the shots for him, only to be reprimanded by the director. The director then calls for the madam of the bar, expressing his dissatisfaction with the girl provided. To Kim Ji-hoon's shock, the madam turns out to be Myung-ji, one of the girls from the share house. Myung-ji decides to personally treat Kim Ji-hoon, and the director agrees. After the director and the other lecturers leave, Myung-ji and Kim Ji-hoon have a conversation. Kim Ji-hoon is surprised to see her working at the pub, and Myung-ji teases him about it. She tells him to call her Big Sis instead of Myung-ji Nuna, which he reluctantly agrees to. As Kim Ji-hoon leaves the pub, he notices it's raining and realizes he didn't expect the weather to change. He spots Shine holding 2 umbrellas and thinks she might be coming to give one to him. However, she walks past him and hugs a guy she calls Big Bro, leaving Kim Ji-hoon stunned. He realizes that Shine has a close relationship with this guy, who turns out to be Woo Hyun-tae, the only male tenant before Kim Ji-hoon moved in. Shine and Woo Hyun-tae share an umbrella, and Shine notices Kim Ji-hoon standing in the rain. She asks why he's getting drenched, and Woo Hyun-tae introduces himself to Kim Ji-hoon, expressing relief at having another male roommate. Kim Ji-hoon asks for the spare umbrella, but it turns out to be broken. Deciding not to intrude further, he runs back home in the rain. When he arrives home, Joo-hee tells him to take a hot shower to avoid catching a cold. As he bathes, Kim Ji-hoon reflects on Woo Hyun-tae and Shine's close relationship, feeling a bit envious and confused. After his shower, he talks to Joo-hee about meeting Shine and Woo Hyun-tae. Joo-hee explains who Woo Hyun-tae is, and they discuss the situation. Feeling tired, Kim Ji-hoon decides to go to bed early. Shine and Woo Hyun-tae return home after he's already asleep, leaving Kim Ji-hoon to ponder the dynamics of his new living situation. In the middle of the night, Kim Ji-hoon woke up thirsty and went to the fridge for a drink. He found some Yakult that was about to expire, but just as he was about to drink it, Sunbin appeared and claimed it as hers, leaving him feeling awkward. The next day at his office, Kim Ji-hoon couldn't stop thinking about Shine. Just then, Shine then entered his office to ask the assistant professor if she could take an extra course, but the professor refused, saying she would have to wait until next year. Shine explained that she needed the course to graduate on time, but the assistant professor insisted it was against school rules. Seeing Shine's distress, Kim Ji-hoon decided to help. He confronted the assistant professor, who reiterated the rules. Determined, Kim Ji-hoon took Shine to see a professor he knew, hoping to convince him to let her into the course. The professor agreed, advising Shine to work hard and not fail the course again. After successfully convincing the professor to let Shine take the extra course, Shine was very happy and wanted to treat Kim Ji-hoon to a drink. She admitted that she had misunderstood his intentions and now realized what kind of person he truly was. Just as they were about to go for the drink, the professor called Kim Ji-hoon for an urgent matter, so Shine decided to treat him another time. Later, when Kim Ji-hoon got home, he found Sunbin studying alone. They had a brief conversation, and Kim Ji-hoon offered to help her with some difficult questions. As they worked through the problems, Juhee arrived home, clearly drunk. She interrupted their study session, and Sunbin decided to go to the self-study center to avoid the disturbance, leaving Kim Ji-hoon alone with Juhee. As Sunbin left, she realized she had forgotten her phone and returned to the house, unaware that what she would see upon her return would change her life.